Nah, y'all. I'm disappointed. I was set up to go live, but it says I don't meet the eligibility requirements to go live. I think I need to have more subs. That's where y'all come in. I think you need to have 500 subs. I think it might be 1,000. I don't know. It just said I didn't meet the eligibility requirements. I was all set. I had some bottles of piss that I was going to pour on Umar Johnson's school. I already did that, but I didn't record it. Because I don't know. But some people have asked me why I don't show my face. And it's because I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. Crabs in a barrel, that term originated here. Really. There's a lot of, motherfuckers who ain't going anywhere with their lives. And they don't want to, like, I come out and I talk about Umar Johnson. I'm not a fan of his. Like, basically, why would you, the best you can do after all this talk you've been doing for over 10 years, the best you can do is show niggas an abandoned building? Really? And you want to claim that that's a school? And Umar supporters are people that inhabit Wilmington. We got, like I said earlier in other videos, motherfuckers who get locked up and become Muslim because they don't want to get, harassed by other people. They want protection. Multiple baby mamas, I said that. Kind of gotta have a driver's license that would be suspended. Okay? If you're a responsible adult, you ain't got no business having your driver's license suspended, okay? What else would an Umar supporter be? Be somebody that would be inclined to tell you about how to get involved in a pyramid scheme. Now, if you're involved in a pyramid scheme, that's on you. But I guarantee you, you won't be doing that shit 18 months from now, okay? Okay? You won't be. So, his following is a bunch of people who are jealous of everybody that's doing better than them, and that's the majority of the population, okay? He's basically preying on people who have no economic power, so to speak. They're oppressed. They don't have good jobs. They don't have good lines of credit. And it's all the white man's fault. His supporters are people that want to blame the white man. This is what black people need to not blame the white man for anything, okay? Now, there are cases where, dope is put into your community for you to sell it and make money and fuck your life up, and other people around you life is fucked up from you selling dope. But the decision was made by you. Just because they gave the dope, put the dope in your neighborhood, doesn't mean that you have to sell it. And most of your pro-blacks are like retired drug dealers. Here in Wilmington, they want to gentrify this city. If you don't know what gentrification is, you shouldn't be on this channel. But if you don't know, I'll tell you. It's where they take the property at a low value, move all the residents out, build the property up, make it so that poor people can't afford to live there, which is basically niggas. So niggas can't afford to live there, and move white people in. That is happening in Wilmington, Delaware, okay? The new mayor, his name is Priswicki. He's gentrifying everything. You can see the policies that he's imposing are about gentrification. And I also know this too. The gym that I work out at, the governor works out there. The governor of Delaware. The senator works there. And a judge, a circuit court judge, who's been put in place to carry out the gentrification process, and she's black. They all go to the YMCA. They know my face. But they don't need to know how I think, okay? Most of this shit, why I conceal my identity, is because I don't want people knowing what I think, how I think about MGTOW shit, about pro-black shit, about a lot of shit. You can know my face, but you don't need to know what's up here. Now, and I also got people, the city of Wilmington is independent from the state of Delaware, meaning the politics here in Wilmington are completely different than anywhere else in the state of Delaware. In Delaware, I'm going to give you a quick geography lesson on Delaware. Let's say your pinky. A very small state is Delaware. Now this top portion of your pinky represents Newcastle County, which is where Wilmington is. You got Wilmington, you got Newcastle, Newark, Bear, and Middletown. You can consider all those little towns I just mentioned Metro Wilmington, basically. So you'll have the the gentrification system started to where Wilmington, the riffraff is getting pushed out further. So it goes Wilmington, then it would be Newcastle, Newport, Newark, and then Bear, and then Middletown, right? So Newcastle's really starting to be gentrified already. You've got riffraff, you got shootings out in Newcastle where you wouldn't have had them before because the people in Wilmington moved out of the city. So basically Middletown is not even Middletown anymore. You got a lot of people that came here from Philadelphia and New York because Wilmington is big on banking. A lot of banks come here to do business. So the people moved from Philly and from New York down to Delaware and bought a nice mini mansion down in Middletown. That's all Newcastle County. So pretty much Wilmington is pretty much Newcastle County. Now, the middle portion of your pinky, that's Dover, which is the capital city, and it's basically like Mayberry from Andy Griffith with a Starbucks. Meaning, there's not a lot that goes on there, but they try to make it somewhat modern, trying to make it into a city, I guess, but it's not really. Because if you want to go to Philadelphia, you'll have to catch a bus, not a train, a bus from Dover to Wilmington, and then you can get the train from Philly from there. Wilmington's the only metropolis area. And then when you get to this part of Delaware, which is lower Delaware, chicken farms and relationships where cousins are also brothers and sisters, if you know what I'm saying. There's really not a lot down there. We call that slower Delaware. Slower Delaware. There's nothing down there. So for the most part, unless people have been here, they think that all Delaware is low and slower. Now, the Newcastle County part, if you ever traveled on 95 and you were amazed at how small Delaware was, that was because you only went through this part. You didn't travel this whole way. If you were ever on 295 or 495, you passed through Delaware and, you know, it was just a sliver. You was like, damn, this state is small. That's just because, like I said, you just passed through that part, Newcastle County. And so, yeah, that's really what this city is about, politics. And my father was a high-ranking law enforcement officer in the city of Wilmington, right? Let me tell you what kind of power he had. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'm a former blue-pilled simp who was wanting status and attention from women, especially when he was in college. So I decided that I was going, this mask is tight. I decided I was going to sell dope on campus, right? Hold on. There we go. And I started out by selling weed on campus. I would take the bus home and get the shit, come back. Then when I started making more money, I decided to step up to the train. And then after that, I decided to take the plane. And this is before 9/11. Long story short, I ended up getting caught at an airport with a pound of weed, right? Now keep in mind, this is the Philadelphia airport. My father was a policeman in Wilmington. This is like 20 years ago. This was 98 that this happened. Okay? Now, I did spend some time in CFCF. If you're from Philly, you know about CFCF. I spent enough time in there to know that I made a decision I never want to go back to this place again. Okay? Now, my dad had some political power. I was in college in the Midwest at the time. I had to come back for my first trial. And before the trial happened, friends of my father's were calling me for out the blue, guys that I didn't know since before I had pubic hair and facial hair. I'm like, I ain't heard from you in 15 years. What the fuck you calling? But anyway, at the end of all these conversations, I got in my head that my life depends on me showing up for that trial. So I show up for the trial. They tell me to come back. They give me another date to come back. I show up again at the second trial. They give me another date, tell me when to come back. Third trial. Now, follow me on this. I go to the third trial. I'm the first case on the docket. I stand up before the judge. He says my name. A bailiff comes from the back with a note. Gives it to the judge. The judge takes off his glasses, wipes his eyes, gives a sigh of frustration, and then drop the charges just like that. I know my father had a get out of jail free card, but to this day, he will not tell me who he talked to and what palms he had to grease in order to get those charges dropped. Not reduced, dropped. Okay? Now, it still showed up on my record until my father got me a pardon from the governor. The governor that I said works out at the same gym that I go to. That's why I'm not showing my fucking face. Plus, I got a lawyer of a sister who can practice law in 4 states. One of them being Delaware. I got prominent people in my family. Do you know how many conflicts were resolved because of who I'm related to? And who knows me and who my people are? Not me, my people. That's so-and-so's grandson. That's so-and-so's son. That's so-and-so's people. Oh, okay then. Because I know your people, that's what they would say. I know your people, okay, you alright, you get a pass. I still don't like that shit that you did or that shit that you said. So therefore, there's way more for me to lose showing my face. I will gain nothing. I'm going to show my face to the world and the world not show their face to me. Like, let's say, for instance, I do show my face. And I get all these inboxes from women. It's going to be women that I don't find attractive. I can guarantee you that shit. Guarantee. So, no, I don't want it. And plus, I'm a MGTOW guy. I'm not looking to better my life by including a female. I just ain't looking to do that. So, there's no incentive for me to show my face. I hope I don't offend my MGTOW dudes for this shit. Because it's not like I don't want to show my face to y'all. I just don't want to show my face to the low-life crab motherfuckers who live here in Wilmington, Delaware, the Umar supporters, and the single moms, because they'll look to take you down. There have been a couple YouTubers that said if they had it to do over again, they would have never shown their face. But once you show it, you can't unshow it. So I'm never going to show it. Have a good day. We'll try to get this live stream when we get 1,000 subs or when I'm eligible for it. I really had a nice live stream planned for you, like I planned it all throughout the week. I had more bottles of piss that I was going to pour on Umar shit, and we was going to go from there. But next time.